While you're sleeping, inflation is eating your savings, but a small, mathematical glitch, called compound interest can turn your spare change into a fortune if you start today. Most people think that becoming a millionaire requires a high-paying CEO job or a winning lottery ticket. But that is the biggest lie ever sold to the middle class. The truth? Wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much your money works for you while you aren't looking. Think about this. If you save just $5 every single day in a jar under your bed, in 40 years, you'd have about $73,000. Not bad, right? But if you took that same $5 and put it into a basic index fund with a 10% annual return, that amount wouldn't just be $73,000. It would balloon into over $850,000. That massive gap, that extra $770,000, is the magic of compounding. It's what Albert Einstein reportedly called the eighth wonder of the world. But there's a catch. This magic has a mortal enemy, time. Every day you wait, every month you plan to start later, you aren't just losing a few dollars, you are potentially flushing thousands of future dollars down the drain. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact math of how to retire 10 years earlier than everyone else by using 3 specific levers that anyone, regardless of their current salary, can pull starting right now. But before we get to the numbers, we have to understand why your brain is actually wired to keep you broke. Why is it so hard to save even when we know the math? It's because your brain is stuck in the Stone Age. Evolution programmed us to consume everything we have now because, thousands of years ago, tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. In modern times, this manifests as lifestyle creep. You get a raise, and suddenly your old phone feels like a brick, and your car feels like an antique. You aren't getting richer, you're just upgrading your bills. To beat this, you need a pattern interrupt. The most successful investors I know use the 24-hour rule. It's simple: if you see something you want to buy that isn't a necessity, you must wait 24 hours before hitting that checkout button. This short window allows your logical brain to override your impulsive dopamine brain. Most of the time, that burning desire to buy vanishes by the next morning. If you save just $100 a month by cutting out impulsive subscriptions or luxury coffees, and you redirect that into an investment account, you are effectively buying back years of your life. Think of every dollar as a financial soldier. Every time you spend needlessly, you're sending your soldiers to die. But every time you save, you're sending them to a training camp where they will multiply and bring back more soldiers. The goal isn't to live a boring life, the goal is to stop trading your most valuable asset, time, for things that lose value the moment you take them out of the box. But saving is only half the battle. If you just leave that money in a standard bank account, you are still losing. In the next part, we're going to look at the wealth equation and why saving is actually a trap if you don't do it the right way. Here is a hard truth that your bank will never tell you: savers are losers. Now, don't get me wrong, saving is the first step, but if your money is just sitting in a traditional savings account earning 0.01% interest while inflation is at 5% or 7%, you are effectively paying the bank to hold your money. Your purchasing power is shrinking every single day. To retire 10 years early, you have to move from a savings mindset to an investment mindset. This is where the wealth equation comes in. Most people focus only on the principal, how much they can put away. But the real, heavy lifting in this equation is done by the rate of return in time. If you are 25 years old and you invest $200 a month at a 10% return, you'll have nearly $1.2 million by age 65. But if you wait just 10 years and start at age 35, you'd have to invest over $550 a month, more than double, just to reach that same goal. This is why waiting for the right time is the most expensive mistake you can make. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius to get a good rate of return. You just need to stop being a passive saver and start being an active owner. This means putting your money into assets that grow, like low-cost index funds, real estate, or even your own skills that increase your earning potential. The goal isn't to have a big number in a bank app, the goal is to own assets that produce cash flow. Because once your assets produce enough money to cover your lifestyle, you are officially free. But how do you actually find that extra money to invest without feeling like you're starving yourself? In the next part, I'm going to show you the ghost budget technique that helps you find hidden cash in your current spending. Most people tell me, the lover, I want to invest, but I literally have no money left at the end of the month. If that's you, I have news, you have a ghost budget. These are the small, invisible leaks in your finances that don't feel like much in the moment but are actually stealing your early retirement. Think about those $5 subscriptions you forgot to cancel, the premium data plan you don't fully use, or the convenience fees you pay for food delivery because you didn't plan your meals. Individually, they are tiny. Collectively, they are a financial parasite. To find your ghost budget, you don't need a complex spreadsheet. Just look at your last 30 days of bank statements and highlight everything that wasn't a need. I'm talking about the wants that didn't even bring you long-term joy. Usually, for the average person, this ghost amount is anywhere between $150 to $400 a month. Now, here is the secret to retiring 10 years early: don't just cut these expenses, redirect them. The moment you cancel a $15 streaming service, set up an automatic transfer for that exact $15 into your investment account. If you don't see the money in your main account, you won't spend it. This is called paying yourself first. Most people pay the landlord, the phone company, and the grocery store, and then try to save what's left over. But there is never anything left over. By automating your ghost budget, you are building wealth on autopilot. You are essentially living on 90% of your income while your 10% is out there growing in the background. But even with a perfect budget, you might hit a ceiling. In the next part, we are going to talk about the income floor versus income ceiling, and how to double your investment capacity without working 80 hours a week. You can only cut your expenses so far. You can stop buying lattes, you can cancel Netflix, and you can live in a smaller apartment, but eventually, you hit a math wall where there is nothing left to cut. This is your income floor. Most financial gurus focus entirely on this floor, but if you want to retire 10 years early, you need to focus on your income ceiling. Wealth isn't just about saving pennies, it's about increasing the gap between what you earn and what you spend. If you earn $3,000 and spend $2,500, your wealth-building engine is running at a $500 capacity. But if you can increase your income to $5,000 while keeping your expenses at $2,500, your engine just jumped from $500 to $2,500. You are now building wealth 5 times faster. In 2026, the side hustle isn't a luxury, it's a requirement. But don't trade your time for a low-wage second job. Instead, focus on high-value skills. Whether it's digital marketing, AI-assisted content creation, or specialized technical consulting, you need a skill that pays you based on results, not hours. The secret is to treat your side income as invisible money. When you get that extra $500 from a side project, pretend it doesn't exist. Don't buy a better dinner, send it straight to your freedom fund. This is how you compress time. What takes a normal saver 30 years to achieve, you can achieve in 15 by aggressively widening that gap. But be careful. As your income grows, a silent killer starts to emerge. It's called tax drag, and if you don't handle it correctly, the government will become the biggest obstacle to your early retirement. In the next part, we'll talk about the tax-free wealth strategy, and how to protect your growing mountain of cash. As your income grows, you'll notice a silent partner taking a cut of your hard-earned money, the tax collector. If you aren't careful, taxes can delay your retirement by 5 to 10 years. But the wealthy don't just pay their taxes, they use the law to keep more of their money. In Pakistan, for example, the government actually incentivizes you to save for your future through Sections 62 and 63 of the Income Tax Ordinance. Most people ignore this, but you shouldn't. By investing in mutual funds or a voluntary pension scheme, VPS, you can claim a tax credit of up to 20% of your taxable income. This isn't just a discount, it's effectively an immediate, guaranteed return on your investment before the market even moves. Think about the math. If you are in a 20% tax bracket and you invest in a VPS, you are essentially getting a 20% rebate from the government. Plus, if you hold your investments in certain stock funds for more than 6 years, your capital gains tax can drop significantly, sometimes even to 0%. The strategy is simple: always look for tax-advantaged accounts first. Before you put money into a standard bank account or a risky trade, maximize your tax-saving investments. This is how you protect your compounding engine from being drained. Every rupee you save in taxes is a rupee that stays in your account, compounding for your early retirement. But there is one final thing. Even with perfect math and zero taxes, 90% of people still fail to retire early. Why? Because they lack the endgame strategy to handle a market crash. We've covered the math, the mindset, and the tax hacks. But here is the reality: the market doesn't move in a straight line. Somewhere on your journey to retiring 10 years early, the economy will crash. Stocks will go red, news headlines will scream recession, and your friends will tell you to get your money out before it's all gone. This is the end game. This is where the 1% are made and the 99% stay broke. Most people sell when things get scary, locking in their losses. But if you want that early retirement, you have to realize that a market crash is actually a wealth sale. Everything is 30% or 50% off. While everyone else is panicking, you should be sticking to your plan, or even investing more if your budget allows. The final piece of the puzzle is the safe withdrawal rate. Once your portfolio reaches a size where 4% of it covers your yearly expenses, you are mathematically free. You no longer work because you have to, you work because you want to. Imagine waking up at 45 or 50 knowing that your bills are paid for the rest of your life, regardless of what happens in the job market. Visual: a person sitting peacefully at a beach/park while a digital counter shows their portfolio growing in the background. But none of this happens if you just watch this video and move on. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So, here is your day zero rule: do not go to sleep tonight until you have taken one concrete step. Cancel one unused subscription, set up one automatic transfer of even just $10, or research one tax-saving mutual fund in your area. The version of you that is retired and free 10 years from now is counting on the version of you watching this right now to start. Don't let them down. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button so the algorithm knows you're serious about your financial future, and subscribe for more deep dives into the math of wealth. Your journey starts today. I'll see you in the next one.